Now, recently we caught one of the guys who were part of the attacks on Benghazi. Okay, good, we got him. But look, there's actually 12 guys who have been charged and indicted in the courts here. And it turns out one of the leaders has actually, of course, not been caught. And he's Sufyan bin Kumu. Let me tell you more about him. Militiamen under the command of Abu Sufyan bin Kumu, the leader of Ansar al-Sharia in the Libyan city of Darna, participated in an attack that killed U.S. Ambassador J. Christopher Stevens and 3 other Americans, U.S. officials said. So this guy's really important. He's leading a branch that is, obviously opposed to us. Part of the attacks on Benghazi embassy, kills the 4 Americans. Who unleashed this plague on us, right? Well, let's take a look. In 2007, Kumu was released from the U.S. prison at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and sent to Libya, where he was detained. The Libyan government released him in 2008. You're telling me that the guy who did Benghazi was released by Bush? Well, I'm sure Republicans are flipping out over that, right? Remember when we did the Bo Bergdahl prisoner swap? They said, how could Obama release 5 Taliban guys? They're not al-Qaeda, by the way. They're Taliban, okay? So there is a slight difference there, and it's a prisoner swap because we're fighting a war against the Taliban in Afghanistan, right? We get one of our POWs back. In this case, we didn't get anything back. Bush released this guy. He came back to do Benghazi. Why isn't Fox News talking about this 24/7? Could you imagine if President Obama had released somebody from Guantanamo Bay that orchestrated the Benghazi attack? This would have been Fox News' reaction. Heads exploding all over Fox News. How could Obama do this? We told you he's so weak out there. Why aren't you saying it about Bush? Bush released the guy who did Benghazi. One of the top leaders. Okay, well, how could he have known? Well, let's find out. Let's get a little bit more in depth here and find out what we know about this guy. According to U.S. military files disclosed by the anti-secrecy group WikiLeaks, Kumu trained in 1993 at one of Osama bin Laden's terrorist camps in Afghanistan and later worked for a bin Laden company in Sudan where the al-Qaeda leader lived for 3 years. Now, we know this through WikiLeaks, but what's being revealed is actual military files. So before we caught him and brought him to Gitmo, we knew exactly who he was and how connected to al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden he was. This is one of the rare really bad guys we had at Guantanamo. You know how they say, oh, they're the worst of the worst, right? And yet, of course, a lot of them were random goat herders that we picked up in Afghanistan because somebody turned them in to get a reward, right? But hey, we got one of them. This guy was real. Kumu also fought alongside the Taliban against the United States in Afghanistan. This guy was firing on us. He was trying to kill our troops. We got a grade A bad guy here. And what did Bush do? He released further updates from the Washington Post. He has a long-term association with Islamic extremist jihad and members of al-Qaeda and other extremist groups, according to military files. Could you imagine if Obama released a guy who was part of the Islamic extremist jihad, a member of al-Qaeda, fought alongside the Taliban and tried to kill our guys in Afghanistan, and then that guy went back and did Benghazi? This is what would happen. Detainee's alias is found on a list of probable al-Qaeda personnel receiving monthly stipends. This guy's being paid by al-Qaeda. Why did Bush release him? 24/7 on Fox News. All you hear is, why did Bush release him, right? Weird, they never mention this guy when they talk about Benghazi and who might have released him. Kumu also had links, there's no end to this, to Zayn al-Baidin Mohammed Hussein, known by his alias Abu Zubaydah, of course, one of the most important al-Qaeda terrorists in our fight against them. If Obama had released a guy with ties to Abu Zubaydah, are you kidding me? And if all this wasn't enough, he was, quote, a specially designated global terrorist. If Obama had released a specially designated global terrorist who then went on to terrorize us and kill 4 Americans at Benghazi, Can I see the reaction at Fox News? Can you see the obvious, ridiculous, overwhelming hypocrisy? Anything Obama does is terrible and unbelievable. When Bush does it, don't worry about it, it's no big deal. It's no big. You know how many people Bush released? Over 500 from Guantanamo Bay. Now, some of those people should have been released. I'm not against releasing people from Guantanamo, and I think that prisons should be shut down. And the guys who are actually bad guys like Kumu, we should have actually tried them here in the U.S. and brought them to justice. Instead, we did haphazard justice, where we said, okay, we're just going to stuff you in a jail. Sometimes we're going to torture you. We're never going to give you a trial. And the other ones, even though you're super dangerous, we're going to release you. Oops, you attacked us. God damn it. That's what happens when you have an idiot ruling the country, and who, by the way, doesn't understand the American justice system. Obama hasn't put anyone else in Guantanamo. You know why? Like, we recently captured an al-Qaeda leader related to bin Laden. You know what we did? We brought him to court. We convicted him, and he's sitting now in prison for the rest of his life. That's bringing him to justice, not releasing him haphazard and never trying them. The most senior guy we ever caught, who we brought to Guantanamo, is Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. He's the guy who they say organized 9/11 in the first place. Bin Laden authorizes it, but Khalid Sheikh Mohammed put it together. You know that we've had him for over 10 years? We still haven't tried him. Why not? Why haven't we brought the guy who did 9/11 to justice yet? Why hasn't he been convicted in court? I mean, they haven't even done the military commissions on him. Because you have a kangaroo court over there in Guantanamo that is lawless. Bring him to New York, where he did his crime, and put his ass away forever. Instead of just keeping people in a lawless place and then just releasing them and then having them come back and fight us and then turning around and blaming Obama for what Bush did. Okay, never listen to Fox News until they come back around and say, I can't believe Bush released Kumu, who did Benghazi. They should shut the fuck up about Benghazi. Have I ever said that before? They're such fucking liars, man.